Story disclaimer. This story is a work of fiction and is intended for entertainment purposes only. The content includes dark themes, horror elements, and fictional depictions of rituals and sacrifices that are purely imaginative and not reflective of any real-life practices or beliefs. Viewer discretion is advised. This video is not suitable for younger audiences, and parental guidance is recommended. The story does not endorse or promote any harmful behavior, violence, or dangerous activities. Please note that all characters, events, and settings are entirely fictional and created for the purpose of storytelling. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events, is purely coincidental. aka Kemi and Zara are thrust into a desperate fight for freedom as they escape the clutches of the Brotherhood and uncover hidden betrayals, dark rituals, and ancient powers. With tension mounting and the line between friend and foe blurring, aka must harness newfound powers and face the chilling threat of dark magic taking over. Amid fierce confrontations, unexpected alliances, and heart-stopping battles, they confront a darkness that could consume them all. But with whispers of betrayal and power struggles looming, their courage will be tested in ways they never imagined. Will they stand united against the shadows, or will they fall? Stay tuned as this tale of loyalty, sacrifice, and resilience unfolds. They run through the winding hallways of the Brotherhood's lair, the sounds of battle echoing behind them. AKA's heart raced as he pushed himself to keep up with Kemi, fear and determination driving him forward. "Where are we going?" AKA gasped, breathless. "I saw a back exit." Kemi replied, her voice tinged with urgency. "We have to hurry before they regroup." Just as they rounded a corner, AKA heard a chilling laugh echoing through the hall. It was Jide, his voice booming like thunder. "You think you can escape? The shadows are everywhere." The air crackled as dark energy began to swirl around them, the shadows elongating and stretching like tendrils reaching out to ensnare them. AKA could feel the weight of the darkness pressing in, suffocating and relentless. "No!" AKA shouted, channeling the lion's spirit within him. He raised his hands, unleashing a wave of light that burst forth, illuminating the shadows and causing them to retreat momentarily. "Run!" he yelled, grabbing Kemi's hand again as they sprinted toward the exit. As they neared a heavy door at the end of the hall, they heard footsteps closing in behind them. Jide's men were on their tail, relentless in their pursuit. With one final push, AK threw open the door and stumbled outside into the cool night air. They were on a rooftop, the sprawling city of Lagos laid out before them, twinkling like 1,000 stars. "We have to jump!" Kemi shouted, looking down at the narrow alleyway below. "Are you crazy?" AKA exclaimed, the height making his stomach drop. "Trust me. It's our only way out." Kemi insisted, her eyes wide with determination. Before Aka could protest further, Kemi leaped off the edge. With a moment of hesitation, he followed, his heart pounding as they landed safely in the alley below, adrenaline coursing through his veins. As they caught their breath in the dim alley, AKA turned to Kemi. "Are you okay?" he asked, concern etched on his face. "Yeah, just a bit shaken," she replied, brushing dust off her clothes. "But we can't stop now. They'll be looking for us." AKA nodded, realizing the gravity of their situation. "We need to find help, someone who can protect us from the Brotherhood." Suddenly, the soft voice came from the shadows. "You're looking for protection. I might be able to help." Startled, AKA and Kemi turned to see a figure emerge, a woman with striking features and an aura of mystery surrounding her. "I'm Zara," she said, her voice smooth and inviting. "I know the Brotherhood well. They don't take kindly to those who defy them. Can you help us?" AKA asked, hope flickering in his chest. "Yes," Zara replied, her eyes glinting in the darkness. "But you must understand that the Brotherhood is powerful. They have eyes everywhere. You need to be ready to fight. aka felt a surge of determination. I'm ready. We won't let them take us down. Zara nodded, the glimmer of approval in her gaze. Good. There's a gathering tonight among those who oppose the Brotherhood. You can join us and gain allies who share your goal. Where is it? Kemi asked eagerly. Follow me, Zara said, leading them through the winding streets of Lagos. As they moved, she whispered of dark magic and ancient forces, igniting a fire of curiosity and excitement within aka. They arrived at a hidden location, an abandoned warehouse that buzzed with energy. The atmosphere was electric, filled with whispers of rebellion against the Brotherhood. As they stepped inside, aka could feel the tension and anticipation in the air. Faces turned to them, eyes curious yet wary. Zara spoke up, introducing aka and Kemi to the group. These two have faced the Brotherhood and survived. They are ready to fight alongside us. One man stepped forward, a tall figure with a commanding presence. What do you bring to the table, aka? He asked, sizing him up. I bring the spirit of the lion, aka declared, feeling a rush of courage. I will fight for what's right, for my dreams, and for Kemi. The crowd murmured, intrigued by his fiery words. Then you shall earn your place among us, the man replied, nodding. But you must prove your worth. aka felt a surge of determination. What do I need to do? You must participate in the ritual tonight. It will test your resolve and your loyalty to our cause. Kemi's eyes widened in concern. What kind of ritual? Zara stepped closer. It's a bonding ritual, a way to connect with the ancient forces that will guide and protect you. But it requires great bravery. aka looked around at the faces of the people gathered, all united against the darkness. He took a deep breath. I'm ready. Let's do this. The atmosphere grew heavier as the group gathered in a circle, candles flickering around them. Zara led the ceremony, her voice low and melodic. Tonight, we will invoke the spirits of the past to grant us strength in our fight against the Brotherhood. aka felt the energy in the air, a palpable force that coursed through him. Zara began to chant, her words wrapping around him like a protective embrace. We call upon the ancestors, the guardians of this land, to bless us with their wisdom and power. As the chanting intensified, aka closed his eyes, focusing on the warmth radiating from the circle. He felt a connection forming, a thread binding him to the spirits of those who had fought before him. Suddenly, the ground shook, and the candles flickered wildly. A gust of wind swept through the warehouse, causing whispers to echo all around them. We are here, a voice boomed, deep and resonant. We will guide you. aka's heart raced as he opened his eyes, the energy in the room swirling around him. Shadows danced along the walls, taking the shape of ancient warriors, their fierce expressions igniting a fire within him. Face your fears, aka, the voices called, urging him to embrace the power surging through him. With a surge of courage, aka stepped forward, calling out, I will not back down. I will fight for my dreams and protect those I love. The shadows roared in approval, their energy enveloping him. aka felt stronger than ever, ready to take on the Brotherhood and reclaim his destiny. The ritual intensified, and the shadows flickered like candle flames, wrapping around aka and the others. The air pulsed with an unearthly energy, making aka's skin tingle. He could feel the spirits stirring, awakening from their slumber, ready to lend their power. Embrace the darkness. Zara's voice cut through the chaos. Let it guide you. aka closed his eyes again, focusing on the vibrations coursing through him. He felt the connection deepen, as if the spirits were weaving themselves into his very being. But with it came a chilling sensation, a warning whisper from the shadows, beware what you wish for. Suddenly, visions flooded his mind. He saw himself standing atop a stage, the crowd roaring his name, but then it shifted to a scene of chaos. He saw Kemi, her face twisted in fear, surrounded by the members of the Brotherhood, their eyes gleaming with malice. His heart raced as he gasped, the images too vivid, too real. "What is this?" he shouted, stumbling back as the shadows surged forward, wrapping around him like chains. "I won't let you take her. Focus, aka." Kemi's voice broke through the fog. "You have to push through." With a primal scream, Aka summoned every ounce of strength within him, breaking free from the shadowy bindings. "I am not afraid," he roared, his voice echoing off the walls. The shadows recoiled, hissing like snakes. The spirits responded, their energy intensifying, and he felt a surge of dark power erupt from within him. "I accept this gift," he declared, knowing the price would be steep. As the energy settled, Aka stood at the center of the circle, breathing heavily, feeling both powerful and vulnerable. The shadows danced playfully around him, a reminder of the dark magic he had just embraced. He glanced at Kemi, who looked both amazed and fearful. "What just happened?" Kemi asked, her voice trembling slightly. "I think I've changed," Aka replied, still trying to catch his breath. "I can feel it in my bones. But I saw you, they were going to hurt you." Zara stepped forward, a knowing look in her eyes. "The power comes with visions, Aka. They are warnings. The Brotherhood will not take your defiance lightly. You must prepare yourself for what's to come." Aka nodded, determination hardening within him. "Whatever it takes, I'll protect her." The gathering was silent, tension hanging in the air like thick smoke. Suddenly, the warehouse doors burst open, and in strode Jide, flanked by a group of Brotherhood members. His eyes gleamed with fury. "You dare summon dark forces against us?" Jide spat, a menacing smile spreading across his face. "You're playing a dangerous game, Aka." The crowd shifted nervously, ready to defend themselves. Aka felt the darkness rising within him, eager to be unleashed. "I'm done hiding, Jide. I won't let you control me anymore." Jide laughed, the sound cold and cruel. "You think you have power? We are the true masters of darkness. You're just a pawn in a game far beyond your understanding." "No!" Aka shouted, the shadows swirling around him in response to his rage. "I am no pawn." The confrontation escalated, both sides poised for battle. Aka felt the air crackle with tension, the shadows behind him whispering promises of power and retribution. He could sense that something horrific was about to unfold. The room erupted into chaos as the Brotherhood charged forward, their intentions clear. Jide gestured sharply, and the dark energy in the room thickened, swirling ominously. "Show them what we can do," he shouted, unleashing a wave of shadows that surged toward Aka and his allies. The darkness twisted and roared, seeking to consume everything in its path. Aka felt the weight of the dark magic he had summoned. With a determined shout, he thrust his hands forward, channeling the energy of the spirits he had just connected with. A brilliant beam of light shot forth, clashing against Jide's darkness in a brilliant explosion of energy. The force of the collision sent both sides reeling. Aka's heart pounded as he struggled to maintain control, feeling the ancient powers clash within him. "Kemi! Get back!" he shouted, watching as shadows lunged for her. With a swift movement, he pushed her aside, taking the brunt of the dark force himself. The shadows clawed at him, chilling him to the core, but he held firm. "You're stronger than you think, Aka." Kemi yelled, her voice piercing through the chaos. "Keep fighting." With renewed resolve, Aka called upon the spirits once more. "I will not be defeated," he roared, unleashing a powerful wave of light that burst forth, pushing the shadows back. Jide stumbled, shock spreading across his face. "This isn't over," he growled, retreating with his remaining members. But just as victory seemed within reach, aka felt a sharp pain pierce his side. He glanced down, horror dawning on him as he saw a dark tendril penetrating his skin, a reminder of the price of power. No, he gasped, the shadows trying to pull him back into their grasp. The pain intensified, radiating through AK's body like fire. He fell to his knees, clutching his side as the shadows swirled around him, taunting him with whispers of despair. "You cannot escape us, Aka," they hissed, the darkness seeping deeper into his veins. "You belong to us now." Kemi rushed to his side, panic etched on her face. "Aka, stay with me," she cried, her hands trembling as she pressed them against his wound, trying to draw out the darkness. "It's too late." Aka gasped, fighting against the tide of shadow that threatened to pull him under. He could feel the ancient magic coursing through him, battling against the dark forces. "I can't let it take me. You're stronger than this." Kemi shouted, her voice filled with fierce determination. "Remember the ritual. Remember the spirits. They are with you." With her words echoing in his mind, Aka summoned every ounce of strength he had. "I am not afraid," he yelled, the energy surging through him like a roaring fire. As the shadows pressed in, he focused on the light within him, a radiant glow that pushed back against the darkness. "I reject you," he declared, feeling the tendrils loosening their grip. The shadows shrieked, the sound echoing off the walls as they writhed in fury. Aka's wound glowed with a fierce light, and he felt the power of the spirits unite within him, a force unlike anything he had ever known. "Together," he yelled, turning to Kemi, who nodded fiercely. They joined hands, their energies merging as they faced the shadows together. The light exploded outward, illuminating the entire warehouse in a blinding radiance. The shadows screamed, their forms disintegrating in the powerful glow. Aka and Kemi stood firm, their combined strength forming an impenetrable barrier against the darkness. "This is our moment," Kemi shouted, determination fueling her voice. Aka felt the spirits rallying behind them, an army of ancient warriors ready to fight. "We will not back down," he roared, channeling every ounce of light and magic within him. With a fierce cry, he thrust his hands forward, sending waves of brilliant energy cascading through the room. The remaining Brotherhood members faltered, fear etched on their faces as the shadows dissipated around them. "No!" Jide screamed, panic rising in his voice. "You can't do this. Watch me!" Aka shouted back, feeling invincible in this moment of unity. The shadows retreated, the echoes of the dark magic fading into nothingness. As the last remnants of darkness faded, Aka and Kemi stood in the aftermath, the light illuminating their faces. They had fought back against the abyss and emerged stronger. But as they caught their breath, a chilling realization washed over Aka. This victory had come at a cost, and the Brotherhood would not rest until they had their revenge. Dark magic still lingered in the air, a reminder that the battle was far from over. "What now?" Kemi asked, her eyes searching his. "Now we prepare," Aka replied, determination igniting once more. "We must find allies and learn how to harness this power. The Brotherhood won't stop until they have me back." As the sun began to rise over Lagos, the promise of a new day filled with hope and danger lay before them. The air was thick with tension as Aka and Kemi gathered the remaining members of their group. They had survived the attack, but the Brotherhood was still out there, lurking in the shadows. Each face in the dimly lit room wore an expression of fear mixed with determination. "We need to strike fast," Kemi urged, her eyes blazing with intensity. "If we wait, they'll come for us again, and next time, we might not be so lucky." Aka nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle heavily on his shoulders. He was the one who had embraced the dark magic, but now it felt as if it had awakened something deep within him, a power he didn't fully understand. "We have to find their lair," he said. "I've seen visions of their plans. They are preparing something sinister. Just then, Zara entered, her expression grim. I overheard them. They are looking for a powerful artifact, something that could tip the balance in their favor. AKA felt a chill run down his spine. What kind of artifact? A relic from an ancient cult, one that grants unimaginable power to its wielder, Zara replied. If they get it, it will amplify their dark magic tenfold. We can't let that happen, Kemi said fiercely. We need to find it fast. But as they plotted their next move, AKA felt a gnawing anxiety deep within. Was it the dark magic whispering doubt, or was it something else? He glanced at Zara, sensing her hesitation. Are you with us? He asked, his voice laced with urgency. Zara's gaze flickered, and a shadow crossed her face. I have my own reasons for wanting to stop them. Before Aka could respond, the doors burst open. It was Jide, flanked by Brotherhood members. I see you've gathered quite the little army, he sneered, a malicious grin spreading across his face. But you're too late. The artifact will be mine, and you will all bow before me. The room erupted into chaos as AKA stepped forward, a dark energy crackling around him. Not if I have anything to say about it. The room exploded with energy as AKA faced off against Jide and the Brotherhood. Dark shadows swirled around Jide, pulling at his feet like living smoke. You think you can stand against me? Jide taunted, his eyes glinting with malice. I have seen what you are capable of, AKA, and it only makes me stronger. You don't scare me, AKA shot back, feeling the weight of the dark magic thrumming beneath his skin. The power surged within him, urging him to unleash it. He could sense Kemi and Zara behind him, ready to fight. We are not backing down, Kemi said defiantly, stepping beside AKA, we will stop you. With a vicious grin, Jide raised his hands, summoning tendrils of shadow that lashed out at them. Then let's see who falls first. AKA's heart raced as he tapped into the dark energy surrounding him. Together, he yelled, his voice rising above the chaos. As they combined their powers, the blinding light erupted from their hands, colliding with the shadows, creating a shockwave that shook the very foundations of the warehouse. Is this all you've got? Jide roared, struggling against the force. You're nothing without the darkness. But Aka felt the spirits rallying behind him, their energy merging with his, bolstering his strength. I don't need to hide in the shadows anymore, he shouted, driving the energy forward, forcing Jide back. The clash of powers ignited the air, a dangerous dance of light and dark. Kemi and Zara fought fiercely at AKA's side, determined not to let the Brotherhood win. Yet, amidst the chaos, AKA caught a glimpse of something darker, a flash of betrayal in Zara's eyes as she turned slightly away. As the battle raged on, AKA's instincts screamed that something was amiss. With each strike against the Brotherhood, Zara's movements became more erratic, her power flickering uncertainly. Zara, what's wrong? Kemi shouted, dodging a shadowy tendril that lashed out toward her. Nothing. Just focus on the fight. Zara snapped, but AKA saw the flicker of hesitation in her eyes. You're hiding something. AKA pressed, feeling a surge of anger mixed with confusion. What do you know? This isn't the time. Zara yelled, but AKA could see the cracks in her facade. No. We can't afford any secrets now, he insisted, gripping her arm. What do you know about the artifact? Zara hesitated, her gaze shifting to the ground. I was part of the Brotherhood before I came here. I've seen their rituals, their plans. The artifact is more than just power, it's a key to something ancient, something that could destroy us all if it falls into the wrong hands. The revelation hung in the air like a heavy cloud. Kemi gasped, taking a step back. You've been with them? I left that life behind. Zara pleaded, desperation in her eyes. I want to stop them. You have to trust me. Before Aka could respond, Jide seized the moment. Look at you, aka. You trust a traitor while your own powers are waning. Shut up. Aka shouted, feeling the shadows creeping back, testing his resolve. We are not afraid of you. But as he focused on the battle, he felt a shift within him, the tug of darkness threatening to drag him under. The power was intoxicating, whispering promises of strength and vengeance. He shook his head, fighting the seductive pull. Aka. Focus. Kemi yelled, breaking through the haze. With the tension boiling, Aka felt the darkness surrounding him coalesce into something tangible. I won't let you take control, he shouted, as the shadows seemed to reach for him, urging him to succumb to their will. Join us, aka. Jide hissed, his voice dripping with malice. Together, we can wield the artifact's power and bring the world to its knees. No. Aka roared, summoning the light within him, feeling Kemi's and Zara's energy flow alongside his own. They were a united front against the encroaching darkness. The artifact is a beacon of chaos, Zara warned, her voice urgent. It can amplify the darkest parts of your soul. If Jide gets it, there will be no stopping him. Then we find it fast. Kemi exclaimed, determination blazing in her eyes. We'll take the fight to them. Aka felt a surge of hope, coupled with a fear he couldn't shake. Where is it? I have a location, Zara admitted, her expression brave. But it's heavily guarded by the Brotherhood. We'll need a plan. Then let's make one, AK said, his resolve solidifying. If we can catch them off guard, we can retrieve the artifact and turn the tide. As they prepared for their mission, AK felt the weight of their impending confrontation loom large. Every heartbeat echoed with the knowledge that they were stepping into the heart of darkness, where betrayal could lurk in every shadow. Night descended upon Lagos, shrouding the city in darkness as Aka, Kemi, and Zara crept toward the Brotherhood's hideout, the dilapidated building on the outskirts of town. The air felt charged, thick with anticipation and the promise of danger. Stay close, Aka instructed, feeling the shadows flickering at the edge of his vision. They moved silently, the echo of their footsteps swallowed by the oppressive night. Are you ready for this? Kemi whispered, glancing at Aka, concern etched across her face. I have to be, Aka replied, steeling himself. We are fighting for our lives and everyone's future. As they approached the entrance, Zara suddenly halted. Wait, she hissed, her eyes widening. Something's not right. Before they could react, the doors burst open, and a wave of Brotherhood members surged forth, shadows swirling around them like a living cloak. You thought you could sneak in? Jide's voice boomed, laughter ringing out like a death knell. You're more foolish than I thought. Aka's heart raced as he prepared to unleash his power, but an unexpected pain shot through him. Zara gripped her head, collapsing to the ground. No, he shouted, rushing to her side. What's happening? The artifact. It's a Zara gasped, her voice breaking. A dark energy pulsed from her, and with a scream, she transformed into a shadowy figure, eyes glowing with malice. Join us, aka. Zara, no. Kemi cried, stepping forward. Fight it. But the shadows engulfed Zara, and she laughed, the chilling sound that sent shivers down their spines. You've lost her. Now, you'll witness true darkness, Star. AKA's world tilted as he realized the depth of betrayal. Zara, the one he thought he could trust, had been a pawn all along. We'll stop you, he yelled, determination flooding back as he faced the Brotherhood head-on. The shadows converged, and the battle erupted with violent intensity. AKA could feel the dark magic surging, threatening to consume him, but he held firm. This was not just about the artifact, it was about saving the soul of the one he once trusted. The battle intensified as AKA faced the shadowy figure of Zara, now transformed into a vessel of darkness. Her voice dripped with malice as she taunted him, "You think you can save her? You're too late." The air crackled with dark energy as the Brotherhood swarmed around, ready to crush any resistance. Jide stood at the forefront, a sadistic smile playing on his lips. "Let's see if your little light show can hold up against true darkness." With a roar, aka summoned the magic swelling within him, feeling it pulse in rhythm with his heartbeat. "Zara! Fight it," he shouted, desperation lacing his words. For a moment, he saw a flicker of hesitation in her eyes. "Aka, help me," she gasped, but the shadows enveloped her tighter, battling against her will. Kemi stepped forward, brandishing a special stick etched with ancient symbols. "We have to break her free," she yelled, her determination fueling Aka's resolve. "Then we'll create a distraction," Aka shouted, feeling a surge of power. He directed his energy outward, sending a shockwave that knocked several Brotherhood members off their feet. The darkness swirled around him, eager to be unleashed. Jide roared in anger, summoning a wave of shadows to counteract Aka's light. "Fool! You don't know what you're up against." But Aka felt the darkness shifting, a balance of power teetering on the edge. "We are stronger together," he yelled, turning to Kemi. "Now." Kemi rushed toward Zara, the special stick raised high. As she plunged it into the ground, the ancient symbols glowed, sending ripples of light through the air. "I break the bond that holds you," she cried, her voice a beacon against the encroaching shadows. The shadows screamed, twisting and writhing, but Zara was still trapped in their grip. "No. I won't let her go," Jide shouted, fury igniting in his eyes. He unleashed a torrent of dark energy, aimed directly at Kemi. "Kemi!" Aka yelled, panic surging through him as he saw the blast heading her way. Time seemed to slow as Aka felt the darkness threatening to engulf everything he cared about. "Kemi, dark," he shouted, the urgency in his voice cutting through the chaos. In one fluid motion, he raised his hands, channeling every ounce of light magic within him. The clash of powers erupted as the dark energy met Aka's shield. The resulting explosion sent shockwaves through the room, knocking everyone off their feet. Dust and debris filled the air, and amidst the chaos, Aka felt the pain of the shadows pulling at him, trying to drag him under. "You can't resist forever," Jide shouted, his voice a haunting echo in the swirling darkness. But Aka refused to give in. "Zara! Fight it," he cried again, focusing on her. In that moment of chaos, he caught her gaze, trapped but flickering with hope. "Aka! I can feel you," she screamed, the shadows momentarily thinning around her. "Help me." Fueled by determination, Aka unleashed a wave of light that washed over the dark entity surrounding Zara. "I'm here," he shouted, reaching out to her. But Jide retaliated, his fury unleashed. "You will regret this." He thrust his hand forward, summoning the very essence of darkness. The shadows coalesced into a massive beast, eyes burning with malevolence, and it lunged at Aka with a roar that echoed through the night. Aka braced himself, drawing upon the spirits that had guided him. "We stand together," he bellowed, igniting the special stick Kemi had used with a brilliant light. It illuminated the shadows, forcing them to recoil. "We'll end this now," Kemi shouted, joining him, the power of their combined magic igniting the air around them. In that moment of unity, the ground shook, and the very fabric of the night seemed to tear apart. Together, they roared, the air shimmering as their energies combined, pushing back against the encroaching darkness. But as the battle reached its peak, a chilling laugh echoed through the chaos. "You think you can defeat me?" Jide's voice dripped with disdain. "You are merely pawns in a game far beyond your understanding." As if summoned by his words, the shadows began to twist and pulse, forming into grotesque shapes, twisted forms of the fallen, the desperate souls who had lost their way. aka felt his heart sink as he recognized the faces of those who had disappeared, their eyes hollow, lost in darkness. "No," he shouted, anger coursing through him. "You can't use them against us." But the shadows whispered lies, taunting him. "Join us, aka embrace the darkness. You will have power beyond your wildest dreams." With every word, he felt the darkness seeping into his mind, tempting him with visions of revenge and strength. "You will be unstoppable." aka struggled, fighting against the seductive pull. "I won't let you take control," he shouted, trying to push the darkness away. But the weight of the shadows bore down on him, threatening to suffocate him. "Remember who you are," Kemi cried, her voice a lifeline amidst the despair. "You are not alone." With a deep breath, aka pushed against the darkness with all his might. "I am not a pawn," he roared, channeling the light within him, illuminating the twisted faces around him, causing them to scream in agony. But as he fought, he felt a strange sensation, a coldness creeping into his heart. He glanced back at Zara, her form flickering as if caught between two worlds. "Aka," she cried, desperation in her voice. "Help me break free." The shadows writhed, and Jide's face twisted with rage. "Stop this," he roared, flailing against the surge of light that threatened to overwhelm him. "You will not take what is mine." In that moment, Aka realized that the true source of Jide's power was the fear and despair of those he had corrupted. With renewed determination, he gathered the light within, feeling it merge with the spirits around him. "We will not be defeated," he shouted. The shadows recoiled, hissing and swirling, as aka, Kemi, and Zara unleashed their combined magic. "We reclaim our strength," Kemi declared, thrusting her special stick forward, a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness. The energy surged forward, colliding with the darkness in a cataclysmic explosion. The air hummed with raw power as the shadows began to dissipate, the twisted forms of the fallen screaming as they were released from Jide's grip. "No!" Jide shrieked, his face contorting in terror as he felt his power slipping away. "You will pay for this." But Aka didn't hesitate. "We'll end this together," he yelled, feeling the light building within him. He surged forward, the special stick ablaze with energy, striking the heart of the darkness surrounding Jide. The explosion of light shattered the shadows, sending a shockwave through the room. In that moment, Zara gasped, her eyes widening as the darkness released its hold on her. "Aka," she cried, reaching out. "Zara!" Aka yelled, his heart pounding as he saw the light breaking through the darkness that had ensnared her. "Fight it!" With one final push, they combined their magic, creating a vortex of light that consumed the shadows. Jide's screams echoed through the night as he was engulfed, the darkness collapsing in on itself. As the dust settled, Aka collapsed to the ground, breathless but alive. The remnants of darkness faded into the night, leaving behind a silence that felt almost surreal. Did we win?" Kemi gasped, her voice trembling with disbelief. "Aka." Zara rushed to his side, her eyes filled with tears. "You did it. You saved us." Aka felt a warmth spreading through him as he looked at her, the shadows retreating from her form. "I couldn't have done it without you," he replied, his heart swelling with gratitude. But as the reality of their victory settled in, a sense of foreboding crept over him. The darkness may have been vanquished, but its scars lingered deep within. "What now?" he wondered aloud. "We rebuild," Kemi said, her voice steady. "Together. We face whatever comes next." As they stood together, Aka knew their journey wasn't over. The darkness might have retreated, but its whispers would always linger, reminding them of the power of unity in the face of despair. "Together, we'll face it all," Aka vowed, determination etched on his face. And with that, they turned toward the horizon, ready to embrace the challenges ahead, knowing that as long as they stood united, they would never succumb to the shadows again.